Wounded young people, adolescence, premarital sex, mommy issues, child abuse, family drama. Tonight on KGRM, we interview your favorite fairy tale characters and get the inside scoop on the dark truth behind their tales. We start our interviews with Rapunzel and learn the details of her life as a single mother and what she is up to now. Uh, the interview's starting. Rapunzel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was on Instagram. I'm sorry.
I understand.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How do you feel about Disney's portrayal of your character in the film Tangled?
Oh, well, I was a little upset that they totally took out the fact that I got pregnant. I mean, it is what it is. And right now, realistically, what really happened, I have a son and a daughter, and I'm so proud of them. I just enrolled them in kindergarten, and this whole process, this whole journey has really turned me into a mother, and it's really helped me become the person that I am right now. It's really beautiful.
Oh, so you had twins. What are their names?
Brooklyn and Bentley. And I love them so much. They'll be 5 in the summer. And I'm sorry, I just get really emotional sometimes talking about them.
That's fine. What are you doing now?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to cosmetology school, and I have a whole beauty product line, and it's booming. It's like the best ever. It's all natural. I use herbs from the fairies' garden to make them. And you can have everlasting beauty for just 9 easy payments of $99.99. And I mean, what can I say? Life is just really great right now for me.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sure to look into that product. How do you
I'll give
feel?
you some samples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. How do you feel about your mother and your stepmother?
Oh, well, no comment.
Are you sure?
I mean, what can I even say? I mean, my mother never loved me. She sold me for a head of cabbage. Cabbage! That's all she ever did for me. She didn't do anything for me. And that witch adopted me and banished me when I got pregnant. And I didn't even know how babies were even made. I didn't know. She just couldn't support me. And you know what? F her.
Unfortunately, Rapunzel needed to leave shortly after giving a statement. So we move forward to Cinderella. She shares her fashion secrets and details about her life before the ball. Everyone is dying to ask, who are you wearing that evening when you met your future husband?
While searching for a dress for the ball, I found a vintage Vera Wang dress in the attic. Unfortunately, Griselda caught it on fire. I was distraught, and I went to my mother's grave and started crying. There, my strong spiritual connection to her came through when I found a box that contained a light blue Prada dress and a pair of Jimmy Choo glass slippers. I mean, in the end, who's the real winner?
How's life with the prince?
It was going pretty well for not really getting the chance to get to know each other before we got married. He said that night that he saw something in my eyes, but I really think he was just interested in my shoes. I mean, lately he's been really close to that prince, what's his name? Pinion? They've been spending a lot of time together lately.
How was the quality of your home life after your mother died? How do you feel about the portrayal of your character in the film?
Well, I didn't have my own room. I slept on the floor for years until I met the prince. Birds and rats, they were my friends, but they didn't really help me. I literally had layers of ash and dirt on my skin. My clothes were rags, I only ate leftovers, and they left this all out of the film. They completely ignored everything that my stepfamily did to me and just made me seem happy and that isn't fair to me.
How about the portrayal of your stepmother and stepsisters?
Well, again, in the film, they just completely ignored the fact that they were crazy. My stepmother only wanted to be royalty, and my stepsisters went as far as cutting off their toes and parts of their feet to fit into my slippers. But my animal friends took care of them.
What do you mean by that? Innocent young beauty turned activist hipster artist. We now go to the Greenwich Village where Snow White resides, protesting upstate apple orchards. So you're the fairest of them all. How does that make you feel?
Well, I don't think people understood what that actually meant. At the time, I was extremely sheltered in the palace. My skin didn't get any sun until I was 8 years old. And I think there's just this big misconception surrounding beauty and being pale. I was anemic until I changed my lifestyle, that is. Now I'm vegan and outdoorsy.
The animals really helped you out in the end, right?
Yeah, and I attribute that to my veganism. I think the animals just realize how great of a person I am because I'm vegan, and so they just help me out. Duh.
How do you feel about the portrayal of Snow White, your character in the film?
Well, it just made me look so naive, you know? Like, I know that I shouldn't take anything from strangers. My mother taught me about stranger danger. But, do you know who gave me that poisoned apple? My mother. You can see why I have trust issues.
Yes, you definitely went through a lot in the film. How does that compare to your real life?
Oh, it's very similar, except my real mom has tried to kill me several times.
You sound upset. Would you like to take a break? I know you're vegan, so would you like to eat this apple?
No!
Should we go after her? We've heard the mother's side of the story. Now we talk to the prince and get the self-proclaimed wisdom sage's perspective on the Tower affair. How do you feel about the character Flynn in Tangled?
Don't even get me started on that joke of a film. A criminal wins the heart of Rapunzel. Yeah, right. She only has the heart for those with a sense of, I don't know, internal reflection.
Now that we've gotten word that you weren't given a name at birth, you've given yourself your own name?
Yeah, when you're European royalty, i.e. rich white people, they only want you to conform and you don't get a name at birth.
So you're European. I don't notice an accent.
You see, I am a new man. I don't associate with my past, just like Rapunzel and that new white trash accent that she has. I guess that happens whenever you start smoking a pack of Camels a day and driving the '89 Chevy.
What is your new name?
I, like the great many people before me, went through a rebirthing process which came from my inner self. My new name is Pinyin, which means inner reflecting life. In the great tongue of Mandarin is where it derives.
You fell from the tower and landed in thorns, thus losing your eyesight. Can you tell us about that?
After falling off of that tower, Mother Earth may have taken my physical sight, but I gained a spiritual insight. As I wandered through the forest, I was able to see my life in its totality. I know this is hard to understand for someone who's not gone through a spiritual awakening like I have. Don't get me wrong, I've always been in touch with the spiritual things around me. But yeah, I have like the wisdom of Buddha and Jesus combined.
And how do you feel now? Will you forever be in debt to Rapunzel for restoring your eyesight?
Ever since she restored my physical eyesight, I kind of have a best of both worlds situations going on. I have 20/20 sight, insight, spiritually speaking, of course, and hindsight too. Will I forever be in debt to Rapunzel for restoring my sight? I would say she was paying me back for all those times of, what did they say, good company in merry times.
That concludes our segment on the dark truth behind the tales. Come back next week to hear our segment on the Real Housewives of Agrabah and how the political uprising of Jafar has affected their production. Thank you. Snow, come back.
No, I don't want to talk anymore. I don't.
You're Emma's face.